morning, fantastic.
Good morning.
Yeah, our respected Tejraj Singh ji and all honorable members, it's been a pleasure for me to showcase my business in front of all my fantastic sales force. So let's start with ASB and Associates, which is a perfect blend of cost, quality, and assurance. We lays our foundations on 4 pillars. One is integrity, another one is excellence, the third one is independence while expressing an opinion so that there should not be any biased opinion, and the fourth one is commitment towards deliverance. Our team consists of a dynamic people with a strong code of ethics. Our team, the founder, the 3 managing partners, Mr. Suresh Jain, Anand Jain, another one Bharat. It was supported by other partners, Aryan Coaches having expertise in bank audits, Amit Soni, audit assurance, Harsha Jain, company laws and transfer pricing issues, and Chandrakant Pampad, ICW and LLB for cost accounting purpose. In life, only 2 things are certain. Any guesses what it would be? Any thought?
Death and taxes.
Exactly. The first one is death, the another one is taxes. The taxes are more deadly than the death because if you died, even though your legal representative will also chase if you are not paid your taxes. So the moment I said taxes, a lot of thoughts comes into the picture. Somebody says that I do have an income but I don't want to pay tax. Somebody says that I do have multiple incomes, multiple bank accounts including Swiss bank accounts, but I want to pay less tax. And somebody says that I do have an income but I don't want to pay tax as I have a political support. The fourth one would be that I will pay my taxes with proper tax planning and avoidance. So we should fit into the fourth one category. Now moving us to let me ask one question, sir. Ruchika, you plan your travels. Have you ever planned your taxes?
No.
With proper tax planning and advisory?
Don't.
Okay. Now let's move to the next. What are the mechanisms for reductions of tax liability? There are 3 mechanisms: tax planning, tax avoidance, and tax evasion. We should avoid the third one, tax evasion. Let's focus on to 2, the tax planning and avoidance. Tax planning includes our day to what you can say that deductions like investment based deductions, NSE, PPF, mutual funds, ELSS, equity linked saving schemes. Apart from that, capital gain exemptions and other things. And our tax avoidance where our main expertise comes into the picture. It means that how you can take the advantage of the law, identifying the weaknesses in the system so that you can take it for the benefit for your own purpose. Tax avoidance, the classic examples, you may see that the Vodafone versus Hutchison case. In this, the Vodafone acquires the shares of the Hutchison overseas in a Cayman Island base with save a capital gain tax of around 2,000 crore. And when the department comes to know about this planning, department slaps him a demand notice of around 2,000 crore. The matter went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upheld also the decision of the Vodafone, saying that it is permissible. Tax evasion includes basically willful concealment of particulars of income or furnishing of inaccurate particulars. The moment you goes into the tax evasion, there should be a penalties and prosecution. So better should avoid it. Our expertise services for salaried people. Before you negotiate with your employer, always structure your salary in such a way so that your in-hand component will get increased and your tedious component will get decreased. By negotiating in terms of allowances like city compensatory allowances, uniform allowances, HRA benefits, you may include medical allowances, conveyance allowances. Apart from that, you may also include leave travel concessions, benefits. And for SMEs and business people, we help them in basically arranging their book entry based transactions. Apart from this, inflating revenue so that they can get their banking exposure rolling up, or either they can increase it up. Apart from this, basically we help them to analyze the nature of expenditure, how they can nexus certain expenditure to their business so that they can reduce their bottom lines. Moving to next, for corporates. For corporates, the major corporates play with their tax planning and advisories by floating their subsidiary companies or holding companies overseas. so that they can retain their handsome amount of profits overseas, which is tax haven, either Singapore, Hong Kong, Cayman Island, British Virgin Island, or any even Dubai also. And apart from that, we also help corporate peoples in drafting their proper organizations, financials policy and dividend policy, so that they can reduce on the amount of corporate dividend taxes and minimum alternate tax. So now we come to our recent success story. In one of our client case, the client is claiming a refund of around 83 lakhs. The matter goes for a scrutiny assessment. Assessing officer comes up with lot of observations and query sheets. We articulated our submissions and attended around 16 and 17 hearings to get the matter sorted and get the order in our favor. Including the refund of around 86 lakhs without any cost to the officers. Apparently, if you see that if the moment you are going to take the refund of 83 lakhs, the moment your facts are weaker, the average cost that you're supposed to give it to the officer is at least 5 to 10% of the amount of the refund. And that we get it without any cost. Another success story in one of our client case, Future Works Media Limited, the company's MAT liability exceeds the company's actual tax liability. I hope all of you are aware of this MAT, whoever having the private limited and limited companies. MAT is a minimum alternate tax. So we help company to revamp their previous old accounting policies to reduce the MAT burden. And apart from this, which includes the revaluation of assets, valuation of intangible assets, so the actual MAT liability will come to 39 lakhs instead of rupees 1.22 crores. Now let's move to the benefits of filing income tax returns. A lot of people comes basically saying that every single person comes up with the query that I want to purchase house. I do have money, but it's in cash, not in my books of accounts, not in my bank accounts. How do you plan it up? This is called the scarcity of the capital, that you have not planned your returns so well so that later on you comes up with such a problem. To mitigate this, you always focus on a proper capital build-up and formation, so your net worth on the papers will get stronger. Apart from this, it is also helpful for your financial needs in kind of getting any loans, either for car, vehicle, car loan, business loan, or any kind of hybrid finance. It is also mandatory for visa processing in most of the countries, and it reflects your net worth on the papers. My gifts for this week to all our members. My ask specific on the left hand side, industry based specific ask for this particular quarter. These are our testimonials that is received from various of our clients. These are our 3 offices, Andheri, Vashi, Marine Lines. For contact details,